and her daemon moved through the darkening hall, taking care to keep to one side out of sight of the kitchen. The three great tables that ran the length of the hall were laid out already, the silver and the glass catching what little light there was, and the long benches were pulled out ready for the guests. Portraits of former masters hung high up in the gloom along the walls. Lyra reached the dais and looked back at the open kitchen door, and seeing no one, stepped up beside the high table. The places here were laid with gold, not silver, and the 14 seats were not oak benches, but mahogany chairs with velvet cushions. Lyra stopped beside the master's chair and flicked the biggest glass gently with the fingernail. The sound rang clearly through the hall. "You're not taking this seriously," whispered her daemon. "Behave yourself." Her daemon's name was I can never say this right, Pantalaimon, and he was currently in the form of a moth, a dark brown one so as not to show up in the darkness of the hall. James, you got to know what this is. Come on, dog. Do you know this? Do you know this book? This is very famous, this book.
I'm very sick this week, David. I'm going to be honest.
Very sick. Yeah. Well, you look great.
I was
Visually, sort of.
Look,
yeah.
My first thought is it's a Harry Potter book, obviously, because he talked about being in a dungeon, right. And mate, you know how that filchy cunt with the cat gets. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Hey,
he's a bit manky, isn't he?
Get out of me tunnels." So sure. I'm gonna assume it's Harry Potter.
Right. It's not. It's The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. It's probably
that was my second guess, if I'm honest with myself.
Second guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I assume that you studied it at uni like I did. Being one of the kind of foremost, I guess, like fantasy steampunk stories that's ever existed. That really
sort of like dungeon hallway
process
type.
Yeah, lots of sort of candle sconces and sort of dark alleyways.
Love a sconce.
James, I can't help but notice you sort of visually have something different going on this week.
Yeah. Dude, just silly goof up on my part, really.
Yeah.
I was out, being at the new place, safe neighborhood and that, doing them night walks, sort of hoofing around at nighttime.
Right. And a night stroll.
Just this like guy came up and like I thought he was asking for change. He bit me just a little bit, and
he bit you?
Yeah, just a tiny bit, just not too much.
That's interesting. Okay.
And sort of just a classic misunderstanding. In the middle of the night, two strangers alone in the dark.
Exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. And one of them bites the other one. That classic meet cute. You've seen 500 Days of Summer. You know how it is.
Love Actually. Yeah, I get it.
So, again, my mistake. Thought he was trying to, because I had my headphones in. So I just he came up and he had a very sort of like kind of like gnashy, and I was like, "Oh, this guy wants something," and I took a headphone out. I said, my classic greeting that I say to everyone, you know what I say? "G'day, champ, you winning?" I've done that one,
and then which I normally say, "I'm winning and grinning." What did he say?
Didn't say too much. He sort of came at me real scratchy. I thought he was trying to rob me. I thought he was trying to kiss me to begin with, if I'm honest.
Oh,
and I said
that's a little.
And
that's
I said,
that's
that's too forward. I don't know you, strange man.
He said, "Stop. I have boundaries."
I said, "Stop it. I don't like it." And
yeah.
And right as I put the hand out, he nipped me a little bit.
That's when he chomped on it.
So
right. And so then that you've been feeling poorly since.
Just the typical fever. Running a bit hot.
Right.
Sort of like just little patches of skin sort of coming off here and there, which is sort of
super
to be
normal
expected.
when you get bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye on that as we sort of progress. But
yeah, I'm
sorry to hear that.
I honestly, if I'm honest with you, I'm feeling a bit better. So
okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, there's nothing better than feeling better during the spooky season. I'm not just talking about tax time. James,
okay.
welcome to the advisory.
You're still on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not letting it go. Welcome to the advisory, the first and last advice show on the internet, where we answer questions to learn a little bit more about what it means to be human. All advice is final and legally binding. Can I see that disclaimer, please, and thank you.
Quick bet. Disclaimer: alternate left, right, or center.
I'm going to say to the left of center.
To the left of center. I'm holding out hope because I've had a great week. Obviously, you can tell.
You look fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go with bang on dead center. We've nailed it this week.
All right, 3.
Here we go.
2, 1.
Get in, son.
Let's go. What a beautiful disclaimer right in the center of the screen. Oh, it's wonderful. For the audio listener, get on the video. You got to see these videos because we have been in a row with this intro card, this disclaimer for like probably a month and a bit, and it's finally worked.
I'm just glad to.
It's very exciting.
I'm just glad to sort of fixed it. You know what I mean? And just happy for things to sort of be just ticking along a little bit better.
And just sort of things to be a bit more normal.
Yeah. I guess. It's the spooky season, but I'm looking for things to sort of just, life's been busy lately. I'm just looking to get back, just to a little bit of normality. You know how it is, but
right. Yeah, for sure.
What can you do?
It's super normal. Why is super normal? Now this is gonna sound like a weird question. Do you maybe have like some green goop on your face or anything like that, or
no? Just sort of nosebleeds. They sort of come.
It kind of looks red. Oh, that's blood.
Yeah. Sorry, that's right. Just. You know what? I've never really been a nosebleed guy before, but for some reason this week, just keep on happening. Keep on bleeding. It's weird, dude.
It's probably just the weather changing with spring and stuff. Like it's kind of, it's dry in the morning and then it's kind of humid.
Better?
It's just
Does that look sort of? That's sort of. It looks a bit worse, but
it's okay. That might be distinctly worse. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just dab. We'll dab. Sort of don't bring too much attention to it, and
we'll just move on quickly.
Yeah, that's good. That looks better. Yeah. You barely notice it.
Yeah. Notice what, James?
You're a good friend.
Thank you.
You're a good friend.
It's not a great sounding cough.
Tasty friend.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's nice to hear, but that's a little odd that's odd phrasing. James, can I ask you some advice? Is that you feeling up to it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like I could probably give some pretty good advice right now, if I'm honest.
All right. Well, in that case,
if I'm just honest, I'm having a good week. I'm having a good week. And you know what? When you're up, you want others to be up. You know what I mean?
Right. You want them to share that energy with you.
Exactly.
Like you kind of want them to be in the same space. It's like, I think it's hard if you're having a great week and maybe people around you aren't, because you kind of want to lift them up. You want to bring them into that space.
Isn't there a song?
And it's kind of tricky.
There's a song that's like, when I'm up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's up. And that's me.
What?
That's me this week. It's a popular. It's not Taylor Swift, so you wouldn't fucking know what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't know it. Yeah. Speaking of which, her new album comes out later
that's
tonight.
Okay. No one asked. That's okay. No one cares. No one asked.
Fine.
And
it's very exciting. It's fine. It's fine. But I guess if you are feeling up to it, this one comes from Emmy Oddly on Reddit. The nice place on the internet, the best place on the internet,
safe place.
Emmy Oddly. Nothing goes wrong on Reddit. That's their motto. Science people, please help. I woke up at 5 a.m. and put the torch on my phone. As in the phone torch. And noticed when I lifted it up, there were little glowing green dark spots all over that part of my bed. It collects on my finger around the phone case like dust. When I put my torch on, I put my phone down for a second. When I turn it off, it makes a perfect glowing circle of dots where the light is. Do any science people know what this is? I literally couldn't find anything at all on Google. Now, James, it being the spooky season, I'm not just talking about tax time. This caught my attention a little bit.
I can imagine.
Because this sounds a bit like a haunted phone.
Pop
that light on. It's got my light on. What's that on my hand? Oh, it's some ectoplasm.
Hold on.
What's that about?
Do that again. Okay. Sort of, there's a weird sort of glow happening right off to your side. I'm going to assume it's a reflection. Actually, I'm going to assume it's a ghost. But
to my side, what do you mean?
So, do you see it there? There's an illuminated spot just above. See, and then bring it down, and you'll notice that the ghost sort of tracks. It's gone because we've noticed it.
Oh, you know what it is? It's a reflection of the glass of the webcam.
It's definitely not. It's a ghost. Now,
it's a little ghost boy on my little breast here.
Well, you didn't have to make it.
I pointed
weird.
To the wrong.
You didn't have to make it weird.
Well, I didn't make it weird. It's just a description of where it was. So I don't think that makes it weird. If anything, you thinking that's weird is you making it weird. But that's neither here nor there. It just seems like you made it weird.
You know what? I don't often wish ill on people, but like, you just need a good biting. That's what I think. I think you need just once.
Is that like
just once in your life?
Is that like a TikTok thing the kids are talking about? Like, what does that mean?
I'm just saying, like, you know, when someone needs to be brought back down to the real world, and someone's like, they just need a slap, you know, something like that. I think you just need a good biting. You know what I mean? With the weird things that you say in the Taylor Swift that you love.
Yeah, biting just seems very specific. Is all. Like, you've never really talked about biting before.
Okay, you know, that's just sort of first thing that came to mind.
I'm saying you're wrong. It's what, James,
Look,
what do you do about the haunted iPhone?
You know, it's rare that you find a haunted digital product, although I can imagine, you know, it's going to become more and more prevalent. Because beforehand, it was a haunted doll. You know, it was a haunted ring.
It was a haunted shoe.
You know, we talked about that ring that a friend of mine's family inherited, and it came with so many ghosts.
That ring was packed with them. You know, I think
chock-a-block.
We don't see enough. Maybe like a haunted VHS tape you might see. We don't see a lot of haunted new media.
That is true.
You know, where's my haunted TikTok video?
Exactly.
Where's my haunted?
It's
my haunted 4K Blu-ray TV. You know.
Yeah, it always seems to be very much like what do they call them? Like passive toys. You know, like yeah. Those tend to be your sort of your haunted objects. But I'd imagine we're going to see more and more hauntings in things. Probably not a VCR or a DVD player. You fucking ancient. But why was that your sort of first?
You don't have to be like that. That's
what about a haunted AWS server?
VHS. Oh, some ghosts up in Amazon.
We spooked up all of your financials, and now your business is in the toilet.
There's a Dracula in my droplet server, and he's kicking the walls in, mate. He's biting all the server vessels.
I'm just sort of getting.
Yeah,
you seem to know a lot about how to clean up blood. What do you think is sort of the go-to for something like this? Do you think sort of?
Well, I mean, the first step is usually kind of warm soapy water, which you can use to get rid of kind of the visual blood. And then usually the second step is you want to get like an odorless bleach. I think a lot of people imagine that to remove blood, you want like a household bleach, like a disinfectant style bleach. What you really want to go for is like an industrial bleach that you might get at like a Bunnings. And specifically the odorless bleach is good because it doesn't leave any trace of the bleach having been there. Once you wipe it off, it basically evaporates. And so you definitely want to go for like an odorless bleach to clean up large amounts of blood. You can kind of get away with like star sand to an extent if it's a small amount of blood, but it's kind of 10 times less effective. Might take you a bit longer.
Right.
Kind of improvise how one might clean up blood.
Definitely. Didn't
I haven't done that. I just know that that's what one would do if they had to clean up blood.
Right.
From research for the books I write. It's not like, but I want to be clear, it's not like an OJ thing where like I'm saying that like I put it in a book and it's like, but that's because I actually did it. I'd like it's fiction. I haven't killed anybody and clean up their blood. So
right. Well,
you don't want to get the wrong
I'll just I'll probably just leave it for now. But anyway, sure. Haunted phones, I would I mean really start a YouTube channel, start a TikTok. If it's one of those new school hauntings, you're rat fucked. It's only a matter of time before it gets you. May as well make a little bit of dosh out of it. So
what if it's I think if it really is spooking you solid, definitely like make some profiles, make some money off of it. That AdSense is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You're going to start to see some return on investment. Matter of fact, if anything in your life seems slightly unusual, put that shit online and see if you can make money off of it. Why not? Just do it. What's privacy anymore? Just
that should be our tagline.
Put that shit online.
Put that shit online and see if you can make some money out of it.
See if you can make some money out of it. Culture is dead. Just lean in. Ruin. It's already over. It doesn't matter.
And like,
I'm feeling sad. Post it.
Exactly.
I'm feeling happy.
We're a
Everything
speck of
should
dust.
be available.
We're a speck of dust floating in an infinite void. You know, with old men running up to them on the street biting them. So, you know, it's sort of nothing really means anything
specific.
You know what I mean? Well, that's what happened to me this week, obviously. Yeah.
I'm
just saying
that. All things considered.
I mean, short of the nosebleed, I think
but you said they were sort of happening regularly throughout the week.
Yeah. If anything, they've ramped down. Okay. So I think I'm getting better.
That's how illnesses work. You know, you have like an intense period. It's like and then you get the storm, and then you kind of get better, and that's just it happens.
I'm a picture of health.
Yeah. Well, not literally.
Why not? What do you mean? What's up?
The blood and the kind of.
Well, we're live. I mean, I don't know what can I do about the blood. You know, I mean, like I tried to dab it off. It just keeps coming. There's a lot of blood in here, David. All right. And it keeps coming out of my face. I'm trying to take it off. All right.
I gave you.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were into blood shaming.
I stop. Mate, listen. Don't try and cancel me for this. All right. I'm not into blood shaming. All right. You asked me a question. How do I get rid of the blood? I told you how to get rid of it, and you've not done that.
I've heard you call someone an O negative bitch before. So I think you're very much blood racist, and you're into blood shaming. That was out of context, and we're good friends. I was a joke between friends. She's actually O positive, which is kind of hot. Not that blood type matters. I'm so confused about where you stand on this now. Is it a blood kink? Is it a blood shaming kink? Is it blood play? I know you're into blood play. You always tell me that you're into cut play, you're into knife play, you're into puppy play, you're into it's just so it's a lot of times being your friend, it's like it's so hard to keep up on things, but you've got a lot of hobbies, so you're easy to buy for. Come Christmas time and come birthdays. So I'm appreciative. That's actually
a very good point. I always will take a few liters of odorless bleach if you don't really know what to get me.
Yeah, a little harness here and there, a dog collar, nice little dog bowl. Wow.
Dog collars are
nice big knife for cutting.
Texture. You want well, you don't have to cut with a knife. You can stab with it too. You do a lot of things.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got options.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that part of the advice that we're slinging on the internet?
What's that?
Just gonna run this again.
That knives are good for cutting and also stabbing.
The warning doesn't say anything specifically about stabbing and cutting it, but just don't stab and don't cut. I mean, come on.
I probably don't.
It's 2022, mate. Stop stabbing.
Probably don't bite.
Hey, I'm not a scientist, but do you think that might be something? Because it's the spooky season, obviously. So we're assuming
about tax time.
Exactly, and we're assuming it's something spooky related. What if it's something very seriously health concerning related, like radioactive?
Like the uranium in your phone is leaking out, or whatever. I don't know how phones work, but something like that,
right?
Something worrisome.
And would that be bad for you? because like I care very much about my health. You know that. So if there's uranium in there and I'm putting it, thank you, and I'm putting it near me, I don't want to like get, sorry, I don't want to get, you know, sort of like uranium poisoning. I'm fine, right?
Right now you're fine. Oh, with the uranium you mean?
All things considered.
I've heard, and I'm not a scientist, I've heard that uranium's not great for you.
All right.
As like a general kind of...
I'll ask Colin.
If I had to make a blanket statement about uranium. Yeah, he seems like he'd know.
He knows materials and stuff. You know, he knows
materials and substances.
Engineering or something. They've got to know about materials. You know, he'll know.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
It's probably fine. This is one of those questions
Put it in a Ziploc bag when you use it from now on. Just in case anything does leak out of it.
That's exactly right. And you know what that's also really good for? You can still interface with it and it doesn't leave fingerprints on the phone. And that's a really useful sort of option to have with someone else's phone that you might run into.
Someone else's
where you might need to use it without leaving fingerprint. Or maybe my own phone. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to keep it clean. It's just this is a completely improvised example.
Yeah. Just gonna make note of that actually.
Don't know why you seem so suspicious of that fact. That's just like a helpful tip.
Right. Well,
that's just me being a good friend.
And this is the place to do it. So you see the sign above the door. Here to give advice, no matter how great or terrible that advice might be, or the serious implications of it.
James, what you got to understand about advice is that the quality of the advice and the quality of the goofs and the gaffs gonna vary pretty dramatically. Okay, but you know what you're always gonna get is you're always gonna get advice. And what you choose to do with that and how you choose to action it is up to us. You need to do everything we tell you. So just keep that in mind, I guess, in general, with this sort of program. It's probably wise to just sort of
I'd also like to take this opportunity to sort of distance myself from sort of anything that David has or will say on this podcast. So just sort of putting that out there for legal reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I can work around that.
Yeah.
James, the feature question of this episode is the sandwich slap heard around the nation.
We're into the feature already.
Oh, it's a big one. We don't have to.
I'm ready, mate. I'm hungry. Let's take a bite out of it. Let's do it.
Okay. You just that's very specific phrasing. All right. Kind of very into teeth at the moment. I've noticed kind of the verb of biting is kind of really stuck in your brain pan, huh?
Good word.
It's kind of up there. Yeah. Okay. Yep. James, this is a ridiculous situation, but it's also serious and has spiraled out of control, we think. Okay. And my coworker and I dug ourselves into a hole by staying silent. Our grandboss is, let's say, Frosty. Elegant, always in glorious suits.
Grandboss?
I assume like CEO or something. It's a great turn of phrase I've never heard before.
Do they just mean like they're their boss, but they're like real old?
Oh, that's sort of like I thought they're like their boss, but they're quite sort of ostentatious, like grand, like
right. Yes, but how it's written is grand boss, one word, not grand boss.
That's true.
Which would make me assume old.
Or is it your boss's grandparent?
Maybe it's a family business and it's grandpa, but he's the boss. It's my grandpa boss. Okay.
Well,
makes more sense.
Elegant, always in glorious suits, not a hair out of place, Anna Wintour type. Renton is a younger 30-ish lad type. He's well known to sneak out for an extra long lunch at the pub to catch midweek footy and come back after having a couple of pints. And so
Renton
the scamp. Renton the scamp.
Oh my god. What fucking Downton Alley workplace is this? My grand boss who's elegant and glorious and some fucker that works here named Renton? Oh yes, grandboss, I will be off for lunch now. It's Renton's hungry in his tum, and he's gonna go get some yummies. What the fuck?
He's got to get himself an early supper before he has to be home before dark. Yeah, the vibe is weird, man. So okay, my coworker and I were eating in the kitchen.
Apologies to all the Rentons out there. I just sort of
that wasn't trying.
It hit me at a weird time. I'm recovering from an illness. Okay, give me a break.
And you're on the upswing. Now, okay, I want to be clear because this question doesn't make it explicit. So it's this person asking the advice, a different coworker who's a female, and Renton who's the scamp. So there's 3 people having lunch in the kitchen. Okay, so my coworker
really
and I were in the kitchen.
Have you? Because sort of just glancing over this, at no point, at least in anything we've read so far, has anyone referred to Renton as a scamp? Is that sort of your own inference?
Renton is a younger, 30-ish lad type. That sounds kind of scampy to me. Classic Renton. Oh, he's Renton.
Sorry, he's the classic. What does that mean? What type of? Give me a Renton. Sort of impersonate a Renton, and maybe give me like maybe some context in the sentence that would sort of make me feel like this is who he is and this is what he likes to do.
James, that's a lot to ask of an individual.
Hey, I'm sick. All right, cheer me up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
David.
Renton comes in.
Yeah.
Renton comes into the kitchen and he goes, "You'll never."
Okay.
Lost it immediately. I didn't have enough prep time. Give me a moment. Renton.
Would you like me to pretend to be one of the people in the kitchen? Would that help?
It would help a great deal.
All right.
So okay, you're in the kitchen. I'm coming in. Coming in. Aye. What's up?
Hey, for fuck's sake, it's Renton.
Did you see the footy on the weekend?
Nah, must have missed it.
No, I didn't either because I was out. I was out chasing it. You know what I mean? Didn't catch any, but the chase is half the battle.
I'm just gonna get back to it. Renton fucking ruined my lunch. You can't.
Did you see my email that I sent to the SLT?
This is a Renton in your mind. This is what Renton's doing.
You can't put these pressures on me, James. I've had a long week, and you come in here and you ask me what a Renton sounds like. Okay, right. I panicked.
Okay,
I panicked.
Right. I have a very loose understanding of what a Renton is now. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a bit. This is a toxic workplace.
That Renton works at? I know, mate.
Workplace. No, this podcast. Yeah. Asking me to do stuff not prepared for. It's almost like you want me to improvise on a live show. Are you fucking kidding? That's disgusting.
If you could.
My coworker and I were in the kitchen eating, as one does. She was telling me about a program she'd been watching and was very animated, gesticulating with her sandwich. Talking about this program. Flapping. Hands everywhere. Right. FrostyBoss just happened to walk past when my coworker made a particularly vehement point and completely lost grip of the sandwich. We both stared in horror as it flew through the air.
Unacceptable.
And smacked FrostyBoss on the bum. FrostyBoss was right next to Renton, and she turned and gave him the deathliest of death stares before stalking away. She didn't see the sandwich. She clearly thought Renton had patted her butt.
Right. Okay.
We don't think Renton even noticed. No one else in the room, there weren't a lot of us, it was late lunch, seemed to see either. My coworker and I were in horrified shock, and, this is terrible of us, didn't say anything. The whole thing was over in less than 10 seconds. What do we even say? Now the gossip mill is churning like mad. Renton was gone for 2 days, the same length of time as our mandatory sexual harassment training module. Oh. And it's going around that someone threw a sandwich at him to keep him from molesting the boss because he was drunk. Obviously, we have to fix this. But holiday break came and now we don't know how. We need a script.
Oh!
P.S. to make...
Sorry to cut it. Yeah, sorry to cut into your holiday time. Are you out of your fucking mind? Renton's over here being like falsely accused of sexual harassment because you can't keep a fucking sandwich to yourself. You whip a fucking salad sandwich onto the boss's ass, and then no one immediately after goes like, oh, so why didn't you say when you did it? You go, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I was so animated talking about this TV show that I love. I'm so sorry for hitting you with my sandwich. You let Renton take the fall, and then you're like, and then later on, when you find out that it has been passed around so many times that now Renton has fucking bodies piled up in his closet that he loves to slap sandwiches on their asses, you've decided to come out and say, guys, I think this has gone on a bit too far. We need to help Renton. But I'm about to go on holidays, so why don't I tackle this when I get back and it has a couple more weeks to really settle in with people.
To really gain momentum, to take root in the business. As people go away from work and they spend time with their loved ones, really just think about Renton slapping her ass, sexually harassing her.
I can't believe that. I started off not liking Renton, only to find out he's been done dirty, and they've prioritized their goddamn holiday over Renton's entire future, by the way.
Renton sounds like he's in sales or something. All right, he's a bit of a lad, right? The only thing he has left is his integrity, because salespeople don't have a real, salespeople, like they don't have a particular trade they can ply. It's all about how trustworthy they are. Do people believe in them and their integrity? That's a really big part of that role. You've stiffed him. You've taken that away. You've taken away the one thing he has.
I want this to be very clear, okay? As I finish removing the remnants of what I hope is the last nosebleed that I get, because again, I feel like I'm on the upswing. I feel like I'm getting better. Okay.
Yeah.
This weird cough is starting, but like, I feel like I'm getting better.
That's normal. You've heard of like long COVID, right? Maybe it's like long bite fever.
Is bite fever a thing?
It could be. It sounds like that's what you had.
I'll have to look into it. I thought this was unrelated.
Oh, I just assumed that. Well, because you told the story about him biting. I just maybe he was sick.
Oh, I thought I was just because I was out mingling more. That I'd sort of just picked something up.
Your immune system.
I was just sort of imparting to you what happened in my week. A man happened to bite me. and then I've happened to get sick at the same time.
You didn't think that those two things that rarely happen.
Correlation doesn't always equal causation. All right, everyone knows that. All right,
I know that. That's not lost on me. It just sounds like in this case, maybe. No, it's all right. I mean to imply.
I'll look into bite fever though. Thank you for taking being concerned. Appreciate that. I think that you have robbed Renton of everything he has. Okay,
what a web to untangle.
Renton feels like the type of person who he's sunk everything into his career. This means a lot to him. Renton identifies as being someone who works in sales. You know what I mean? It's part of yes. It's
his core.
I am sales. I am Renton. I am sales. Okay. And like you said, it's all about your integrity. It's all about the relationships. It's all about being known as the person who doesn't smack people on the ass with sandwiches. You know,
that's the first when you go to sales school. Okay, it's the first thing they teach you.
Yeah,
don't slap people on the bottom. That's lesson number one.
They say keep it light, keep it tight. And what they mean by that is they mean keep the conversation light and breezy, and keep it tight as in keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Keep it light.
Hands in pockets.
Keep it tight. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
hands inside
the first thing they teach you. Now,
that's number one, day one.
I feel like I can't believe that you've prioritized. I know that we haven't finished it yet, but I cannot believe that you have said, obviously we need to fix this, but holiday break came and now we don't know how.
What does that mean? Like,
it means, oh no, Renton, this is awful. Let's devise a plan to help you now. and then
the mandatory 2-week shutdown.
The alarm bell sounded for them to go on holiday, and they went right when we come back from our 2-week vacation. So
I don't
just
gonna
have
sound
to let you sound
jaded, or I don't want to be the asshole in this situation.
Yeah,
but like so the thing that sticks out to me is he was away for 2 days, which is the same length as the mandatory sexual harassment training module.
Yeah.
What did he say to the HR rep when they pulled him aside and said, "Hey,"
they said, he said,
"You need to do this."
Guys, this isn't me. Okay, this is a.
He's like, he would be like, "I literally have no idea what you're
talking
about."
This is a simple understanding. It's a simple misunderstanding. Okay, Sandra was talking about House of Thrones or whatever the fuck that. Whenever no, there's that new one, House of Dragons. She was talking about House of Dragons. She's waffling on, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" And then I remember because I said, "Sandra, you can't shut it. Okay, don't spoil it. All right, bunch of people, bunch of us here haven't seen it." And then she's like,
most of us aren't going to because we remember how Game of Thrones ended.
And then she's like, "Oh, but the dragons," and then a sandwich got whipped. And it like
smacked, a ninja star.
It smacked grandboss on the. That's what we call, the lady who's really like elegant Karen. In her like glorious suits. Yeah. So grandboss, she got smacked on the butt with the sandwich, and they said to themselves, the old sandwich on the arse story. We've heard this one before, Renton.
Mate, you think you can slip that by us? They taught us about that in HR school. Okay. That's the obvious lie. Oh, it was a sandwich thrown on the
bus. And if you'd have done what you got taught at sales school, keep it light, keep it tight, you wouldn't be here in the first place.
So let me ask you again, Renton. You feeling like you're ready to be honest with us?
Renton, just come clean. You did it.
Come clean. You're gonna make it easier for now. My partner here, okay, he's kind of crazy. All right, he can get a little aggressive, a little bitey. But me, I just want what's best for you. Yeah. And what's best for you is just telling us the truth, Renton.
Renton, help me help you. Help me help you, Renton.
Just let me know what happened, and listen. We'll take care of you, man. That's what we do. We're people and culture. You're the people. We're the culture. We'll take care of you, man.
Yeah.
You need to be honest with us and yourself.
You need a sandwich right now or something, dude? Don't whip it at us.
Are you hungry?
Classic, but seriously, don't.
We can get you, if you tell us the truth, we'll get you a sandwich, bro. Maybe a coffee, all right? Maybe a cheeky pint. We know you're a bit of a lad. Just open up. We
cashed the game on the weekend, Renton. Of course you did, mate. Of course you did,
mate. Oh, you did it at the pub, mate. Yeah, of course you did. How'd they go? Not well. Yeah, I know. I watched it too. We could be friends.
P.S. To make matters even worse, my coworker loves vinaigrette and mayonnaise on her sandwiches. Are you fucking kidding me?
So this is the detail I love they add at the end. The sandwich left a stain. Like, I just when Renton's like, yeah, I didn't do anything, I didn't touch her, and she's like, oh yeah, there was this weird like kind of sandwich stain on my skirt. You'd think HR would be like, maybe he didn't do it. That seems like evidence that maybe it wasn't him. Or they
Renton
were like, well, obviously he had mayonnaise on his
hands. Yeah.
That's if anything, that's
it's like, only further proof that he's done
evidence. Yeah. But I like the takeaway, which is that we also should have offered to have the skirt cleaned because there was a definite splotch.
Yeah, you should have. You should have. But
that's not the first thing you should have done.
It's more. Yeah. More to the point. Immediately when it happened, you should have said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It slipped out of my hand." Okay, and then you immediately take ownership.
I flung my sandwich at you by accident.
I whipped a sandwich at you. Okay, and now, hey, we're both having a bad day.
About Matt Smith and his dragons.
We're both having a bad day. You've got a splotch, a mayonnaise vinaigrette splotch right on your bum, right? That you've got to get fixed.
You took us.
And I'm out half a sandwich. So
no one's winning here.
No one's winning. Renton is certainly not winning. Renton's being rat fucked left, right, and center.
Renton's in some like 1984 style re-education room where they're teaching him the sexual harassment module.
Yeah.
Okay. Renton can't be thinking about mayonnaise and skirts. Renton's getting reprogrammed, and you're out here on fucking holiday, chilling like a villain. Renton, life never gonna be the same. And you think, we should have offered to dry clean the skirt. That's the least of the problems.
I really came out of the gate. I really came out of the gate swinging some negativity on Renton, and
you didn't like my interpretation of him. I think is really what.
I think that's what did it. Yeah, you really muddied the waters on Renton there when
I didn't keep it clear as to sort of where Renton began and I ended. And I think what happened is you put me on the spot. And that was what caused that to happen. So if anything, it's your fault.
Right.
Is kind of what happened.
Right.
Because I did a great job in the time I had available, which was which was not a lot of time. And I feel it's
put
a
my
lot of
fault.
pressure on me.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
It's your fault that I did a bad job.
And I'll tell you why it's my fault. Because I should have known how fucking dog shit that impression was going to be, and it's my fault. It's my fault that I asked you to do it. And
I just want to
take this opportunity while I have them, because I feel like I'm fading a little bit. But I think that's just because I didn't really have too much of like I didn't have like a coffee this morning, so I think that's why I'm feeling like a little bit woozy.
Oh, you're kind of crashing.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you have like a Red Bull or a mother you could drink?
No, I've got to, keeping it max, keeping it no shugs with the Pepsi Max, of course, but
great flavor, 0 calories. We're not sponsored by Pepsi Max. We just love to be.
I want to take this time to apologize to the viewer, the listener, however you're consuming this, for, and I know it's spooky season, but
let's take my tax time.
I shouldn't have subjected you to a David impression, and that's not really spooky and scary as much as it was cruel of me to do. But
as much as tax time can be spooky. And
scary. I did think that I like to really see the best in people, which is why that fucker got close to me enough to nip me a few times.
To give you a nip.
It's because I thought we're just gonna have a chin wag, me and this guy. But
I feel like you've known me long enough to know that it was a mistake.
Right, but I constantly give people the benefit of the doubt, and I always think like, you know what, right. I believe you've got it in you. And I believed in you too much, I think is what I did. I flew too close to the sun of belief in David. And that's my fault.
And it's possible that it's possible because you've been under the weather. Your judgment might be a bit impaired. Okay.
Yeah.
It's possible that you're not.
I'm feeling great.
You're making some choices. You said you were kind of. Maybe just you need a cup of coffee.
Yeah, just need a coffee.
Just need a cup of morning brown, mate.
Yeah.
Cup of morning brown. Yeah.
Just a cup of mud. Just get us a cup of mud.
Or cup of Joe, mate. Give me a cup of Joe, mate. James, what do you? James, how do you fix this? Like because I was legitimately thinking about this when I gathered this question. Where do you go from here? Because all this happens, right? HR brings him into a sexual harassment module for 2 days, gets trained. He's the whole time being like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But he's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I am an ally. I'm going to go to this training anyway. It can't hurt. Goes to the training, gets out of it. And then your colleagues pull you aside. You get back from holiday break, and 2 of your colleagues pull you aside, and they go, they go, Renton, I got to tell you something, my dude.
Yeah.
You know how last, you might not remember this because it was kind of a minor incident. You remember last, before break, there was like some confusion around like, the grandboss and maybe whether like you patted her butt or whatever. You probably don't remember it. It's such a weird small thing. But actually, that was my friend accidentally threw a sandwich across the room, and that was what caused that.
Right.
And so, we're gonna go tell that to HR. That's what happened, and that it wasn't your fault, because we don't want it to kind of be. We don't want you to be seen like you were the one that did it. Just giving you a heads up that that's what happened. Like you probably don't remember it. I was a few weeks ago, break, holiday, Christmas, New Year's, drinks and stuff. But yeah, we just wanted to let you know that's kind of what we're gonna do with what happened. Just let HR know.
So they said that to me, and I'm Renton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's what I do. They leave the room, and then I hit stop recording on the memo that I just recorded. I shave off the end bit a little bit, where they say, and we're going to go tell the boss.
Just a scooch.
I then take it.
You bring that into Premiere
to the boss,
Pro and you scooch it off.
I take it to the boss and HR. I put it down on the table. I hit play. And I frame it as though they framed me and had no intention of fixing the situation.
Oh my God.
And now I flip the sitch back on them, where, because like you said, you know, I went through all of that bullshit as a result of it.
And
now,
you know what?
Now you guys are going to go through some bullshit.
Renton was so authentic in his. He knew he didn't do it, but he did the training anyway because he's an ally.
Exactly.
He's proved that he would never do something like this.
Yep.
And he's uncovered the true culprits.
He absolutely has. And I want them fired, because no, I wouldn't come out and say that. I'd say this.
No.
I'd say this. I would say, look, I'm going to be honest. It was some of the hardest moments of my life being framed by it like that, particularly by people that I work with every day and that I trusted. So I just, I don't know if I could continue working in an environment where those two were also sharing that space. So, and I really hate to sort of have to take this any further, you know,
you could
with
hit him with,
action against the company.
You could hit him with the, I don't know if I feel comfortable working somewhere where they condone this sort of behavior and it goes unpunished.
Dude,
that's a good
one.
Like
I learned in the training. And, you know what I mean?
Like I learned in my 2-day course.
Exactly. And hit him with the, you know, I don't know if I could work somewhere. I really can't stand by and watch something like this happen. And I don't know if I could continue working somewhere where they condone this type of behavior. And then the ball's in their court.
You know?
And then I
think, yeah.
Enjoy your 2 weeks holiday, cunt, because you're about to have a couple weeks more off. Enjoy the job search, because it's the spooky season, and Renton's fucking everyone.
Time.
Exactly.
Renton kind of sounds like
Renton got dark. Renton got dark on the comeback.
Renton was wronged, and Renton rights the wrongs done to him.
Yeah, he does. Dude, you're just lucky. You're just lucky he didn't wait till you went to your car and then he leapt out at you and sort of just took a little bite out of you. You know what I mean?
A little chomp out of you. Yeah. Well, maybe he might rough you up. I don't know if he'd bite you. That seems, most people don't do that. But Renton, let me tell you this: you wouldn't want to bloody make him angry. Okay, you wouldn't want to make him angry. You don't want to see him when he's angry. All right, Renton, he's capable of something you don't really understand. You know how Liam Neeson in the films Tekken, where he's in Tekken 2 and Tekken 3, where his daughter is Tekken and he goes after her.
Right. I thought for a second there that
quite famous films.
I thought there had been films made about the very popular video games Tekken.
No, Tekken. Where his daughter is taken by people.
Dude, did you see that one that he did? The Tekken, one of the Tekken films, and they didn't even call it Tekken, but he was taken by wolves.
Taken by wolves. There was one where he was taken by a plane. There was
I didn't watch the wolf one. I'm gonna be honest.
It's not good, and I think that people should send Liam Neeson stronger messages about the film.
Did he win?
With the wolf,
he won, didn't he?
No one really wins with wolves. There was one where he was taken by Star Wars. There was one where he was taken by Batman. Yeah, he's been taken a lot. I think it's sort of
he was taken by Batman? A lot of taken,
big franchise. Yeah, Damn. He was taken by the first Batman film. Batman, bad bloke. You heard it here first. James, I'll be honest. I don't know what to say this. I'm not pretty but I'm a little afraid of Renton and what he's capable of.
He was Ra's al Ghul, cunt. Oh my god.
Wait, you really didn't know? You didn't know?
Nah, didn't know.
Yeah,
I flashed back to I thought we were taking a deep journey back. Yeah, I was like, Liam Neeson did not play one of the Batman, and then I was thinking the Val Kilmer Batman. I was like, did he do his own Batman?
He's in the first and the third one. He's really good in them. One of my all-time favorite scenes of film, it's so good, is where he's he's on the lake with Bruce, and he's trying to teach him about the will to act. And Liam Neeson just has such a presence on screen. He's so good in those films. But I will say this. Yeah, when he's taken by wolves, it's not right. It's not a good film. I like the one where it's Leo DiCaprio fights a bear. I think
that one's pretty good.
That one's good.
Pretty good. A lot of chomping and biting, and
you'd like the biting aspect of it, yeah.
I think I'm coming around to biting. I don't know. You know,
you've been historically biting agnostic. You never really had an opinion, but you seem like you're kind of positive.
Didn't care about it, yeah. But I don't know why. It's one of those. It's part
of getting older.
What is it called? Is it the beta Meinhof phenomenon? Like once you see something, you see it everywhere. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Ever since I got bitten,
recency bias is the easiest way to phrase it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I got bitten, it seems like biting has come up a lot more since then. Sort of had
now,
an
this might be an inappropriate question. I don't know if this. What?
Just been hungry. Just hungry a lot. When you have a hunger that you're like, oh, it's a sweet hunger, and you eat something sweet, and you're like, that wasn't it. Yeah. And then you have a savory hunger, and then you eat something, you're like, it wasn't it.
Yeah, either. I get it. Yeah,
that wasn't it either. Yeah. And then I just feel like
but it doesn't satisfy. You're not satisfied?
No, and I feel like there's a growing hunger. I'm sort of just getting more hungry in my tongue. I don't really know what that's about, but I'll have some dinner after this, and I'll probably fix it.
Probably feel better. Yeah. I think sometimes it's one of those things where you feel really hungry and then you start eating and you realize actually maybe I just needed to drink some more water today. Maybe I was just dehydrated.
Right.
I think sometimes that can happen.
Yeah.
But certainly, an exponential kind of growing hunger, sort of at an existential level, that could be something else. But it just sounds like you probably didn't have, in order to do the podcast, you didn't have the bottle of water before the show because you didn't want to, need to go to the bathroom. And it's probably just, dehydration often.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Well, and because you're on the upswing, it probably your body is craving calories because it's ready to get back into the swing of things,
Yeah. I'm feeling good. I'll say that.
You look great, considering.
Do you mean it?
Oh, James, I'd never lie to you about this specific thing.
Thank you. I needed that this week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wouldn't David, tell you a fib about this one.
And I'll say this. Looking sharp.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. I've been experimenting with the beard trimming and
so did we
Okay.
we sort of answer that one? I feel like that's...
Yeah, I think we did. I think the recording device and the flipping it on them. We didn't really help the question asker.
We did, dude, because they said we need a script. And we gave a script to be flipped by Renton on you. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it. The advisory is over forever. He's done the best joke we're ever going to have. That was, you know what, James? I don't say this a lot, but that was actually quite clever and funny. I never say that about you behind your back, to your friends, to your face. I never say that you're funny or talented or interesting or clever. That was one time where you were, and that's really impressive.
Thank you so much.
You've done it.
I have I have this weird thing where like the more I look at you and the more you sort of say stuff, I can't help but feel like I want. You ever get like a sensory thing and you just like, I need to do it. I want to know what it feels like to have my teeth sort of just in one of David's biceps. Don't know what that's about, but it's a weird sensory thing that I've got. Don't know.
Okay.
Just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to break skin or anything. I'm not going to break skin. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just like a sensory thing.
I guess like sometimes like you might see like a wet paint and you want to kind of know what that's like.
Exactly. You see wet cement, sometimes. you want to stand in it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you might want to like kind of see what that feels like.
Yeah.
It's probably a good place to end the show. I'm gonna just check. Okay, no, it's fine. My office door is locked. That's good. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. That's the advisory.
You still live on level 3?
Me?
Still level 3.
No,
right?
I'm level 4 actually. You shouldn't check level 3. If it's sort of where I am. Yeah, and you wouldn't find me there anyway because I'm staying. I'm not here. I'm staying somewhere else. I've got plans.
I saw your bookcase. I saw your bookcase in the back before the show started.
No, you didn't. That's the green screen. It's
That's your bookcase back there.
I'm actually on holiday right now. I'm in Noosa. You just can't tell because of the.
So no one's at your place. Anyone could just sort of swan in.
I wouldn't phrase it like that. I mean, there's my neighbors are in the building. They're around.
People.
This is gonna sound weird.
Can't be there all the time.
I have to go.
Can't be there.
Yeah, I have to go I have to leave. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Advisory. It's a show that we do. We're part of Black Swan Society, which is an artist collective that makes stuff. Okay, no, that was upstairs. Okay, that's fine. I just heard something. You can find us on all the social media platforms at BLK Swan Society. That's your TikToker, your Twitters, your Instagrams. You can email us blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. We really do appreciate you watching or listening from the safety of your own home with the doors and windows locked and some kind of a sharp implement near where you sleep. I do recommend that. It is the spooky season. I'm not just talking about tax time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening to our show or watching it. If you did watch it, please do consider giving us a rating, a review, or a comment on your podcast catcher or platform of choice. I know it sounds trivial and every podcast asks for it, but it really does make a difference and helps other people find our show and listen to it. Otherwise, if you're not the rating type, we hope you enjoyed and maybe consider sending this to a friend or colleague you think might enjoy it. Otherwise, thank you so much once again. Do keep your windows and doors locked, and we will catch you next week for our spooky season special. And I'm not just talking about tax time.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Did you know that a locked door doesn't keep everything out? Keep everything out.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Sometimes a locked door traps you in. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
That's cool, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
See you next week. Or before then. Who knows?
Okay. Well, the podcast is on a pretty set schedule, but I guess
I know where you live. I might see you before then, David.
Okay. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna explore some fortification. Not related to this. Just
make sure that sliding door on the balcony with the tricky handle doesn't get like stuck open or anything. That'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, it's the 3rd floor. I don't know how you'd get up there. I mean, I don't know how someone would get up there. I don't think that yeah, for sure. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna call the building manager and just check that all the cameras are working as well in the building. Just sort of check that the old CCTV is still working. We had a break-in recently, and I just sort of want to just check that it's all sort of functioning.
No one
just
saw me.
General kind of security. Sorry?
Goodbye.